שלום חברים. שומעים? שלום לכם. אני התחלתי כרגע הקלטה ואנחנו למעשה מתחילים בסשן. שלום לכל הנוכחים. אנחנו נעבור עוד מעט לאנגלית על מנת להציג פה את המשתתפים חברת ExtraHop שנמצאים איתנו במיוחד על מנת להעביר את הסשן הזה. ונמשיך ככה. So we are now moving to English. Here with us we can see Helmut Deuter and Jürgen Hoffmann. Helmut is the channel manager and Jürgen is the cell engineer for the EMEA zone, and they will deliver the presentation.
Yeah.
Just a moment before you do so, you are sharing your screen now. We would like to do some reviews, first of all, about Multipoint. Afterwards, will be a brief review about Multipoint, and we'll get to the visit that we are gathering for, which means the reveal X of ExtraHop, plus presentation and demo. So with your permission, guys, from ExtraHop, I'm now moving to Hebrew. חברים, אם אתם שומעים אותי, אני כרגע משתף מסך, ואנחנו נעשה קצת ריוויו על מולטיפוינט. רואים את המסך? רגע, אני לא מקבל אינדיקציות מכם. אוקיי.
You can see your screen, but you can switch to presentation view, Jonathan.
Yeah, it is not...
No, we saw the PowerPoint view.
You don't see the PowerPoint?
So we see the PowerPoint, but you can, if you like, you can switch to the presentation view.
Okay.
That's yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, great.
So, חברים, חברת מולטיפוינט, חברת הפצה, למעשה נוסדה ב-2009, נמצאים עמוק עמוק בתחום הכלים המיוחדים של סקיוריטי ונטוורקינג, בפרט בתחום התוכנה, אם כי יש פה גם אלמנטים מסוימים של חומרה, כמו מפתחות YubiKey, שגם הם קשורים מאוד מאוד לתחום אבטחת המידע. היצרנים העיקריים שאנחנו מתעסקים איתם, כמו שאתם יכולים לראות פה, זה קואליס, טנבל, כמו שנמצאים איתנו היום חברת ExtraHop עם הפתרון המאוד ייחודי שלהם. יש לנו פה צוות מחירות וצוות פריסלים, שהם גם מאומנים וגם בעלי הסמכות למוצרים רבים פה שאנחנו מפיצים, ומפיצים הרבה מאוד, כפי שתוכלו לראות באתר שלנו, שיוכלו לעזור לכם בתמיכה און-סייט ובכלל להתייעצות. אנחנו כמולטיפוינט נמצאים בסניף הראשי בכפר סבא, כאשר סניף נוסף נמצא לנו ביוון, נציגויות נוספות נמצאות בסרביה ורומניה, עדיין היד עוד נטויה. אם אתם מסתכלים על מגוון הפתרונות שמולטיפוינט מצויה בהם, תראו שלמעשה מקיפה את כל כלל ה-IT, בדגש על נטוורקינג וסקיוריטי. מסקיוריטי ו-risk assessment, ממשכיות עסקית, קומפליינסים, עם חיסיון, הצפנות ועד גישה במולטיפקטור, SSO וכיוצא בזה. בפילוח נוסף של מוצרים אל מול יצרנים, ניתן פה לראות יפה את כל החברות שאנחנו עובדים איתן. כמו שאתם רואים פה בתחום אבטחת המידע, אנחנו נמצאים היום עם ExtraHop, שמתייחס גם כן לתחום הפרפורמנס והנטוורק טראפיק אנלייזר, כפי שאתם עוד מעט תבינו ותראו. אנחנו מייצגים את קואליס, את טנבל, חברות שמתעסקות עם risk assessment, עם vulnerability management, כלים מאוד ייחודיים ומומחים עונים על קומפליינסים וצרכים של ויזיביליטי ארגוני בהיבט של סקיוריטי פוסטר. אנחנו נמצאים בנקודות קצה, פתרונות לנקודות קצה, על הגטווי, עם ניטור ואודיטינג. והנה יש לנו פה את OneLogin שאנחנו גם נמצאים פתרונות מולטיפקטור ו-SSO, ופתרונות למחיקה שמוכרת על ידי רגולציות, כבלנקו, גיבוי, הצפנות ומכל הבא ליד כפי שניתן לראות. מבחינת החברות שבהן מצויה, או הפתרונות שמולטיפוינט מייצגת מוטמעים בה, כפי שתראו פה נמצאים חברות מכלל המשק, חברות גדולות מתחום ההייטק, מתחום הפיננסי, מתחום הביטחון, חברות ענק במשק הישראלי, כפי שאתם יכולים פה לראות. כמו שדיברנו, אנחנו מספקים שירותי מחירה, מרקטינג, סרוויסיס, התקנות, ייעוץ ועוד ועוד. עד כאן בקצרה על חברת מולטיפוינט, ועכשיו אנחנו נעבור לחברים מ-ExtraHop שימשיכו בסשן הזה. יורגן and Helmut, are you with us?
Yes.
I will now stop the sharing and you can take the leading for this presentation.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, shalom, and thank you for your time today. My name is Helmut Deuter. I'm responsible for the channel and a part of Europe, so especially Germany, Austria, and Switzerland, Eastern Europe, but also Israel and Greece. Yeah, thank you for your time today. And for us, it's a pleasure to give you a short overview about ExtraHop, what we are doing, where we came from. So we have some, let's call it marketing slides to give you an overview where we came from, what we are doing, how we see the market. And then we go in the technical demo, not deep technical, but it should give you an overview. How do we work, what you can see in the system, and how easy is it to run with ExtraHop. So when you have no idea of ExtraHop, what we are doing, ExtraHop is a Seattle-based company. It's founded in 2007, and the founders both came from F5 networks. So where we came from is the network performance monitoring area. This is where we came from, and I would say this is was the biggest part also in the US. In the moment, since several years, we are growing very fast, and so we have round about new 600. We have in total 600 people, growing very fast. So alone in the last year, we are growing with 280 people. Year over year, we are growing more than 40%, and this is really good result. Since 4 years roundabout, we are starting to have a few also in the security market, because we see network performance monitoring is one important thing, but to have a complete visibility also in the security is very, very important for us. From worldwide perspective, we have more than 1,000 customers, more than 5,000 deployments, and yeah, that's really a massive growth. If you see a little bit down, some of our customers, yeah, it is from the European perspective, it's Credit Suisse or some other ones, but from the global perspective, you see on Netflix, everybody knows them, or Rachei and Morgan Stanley. So we have no special vertical. We are strong in every vertical. We are in the Gartner quadrant for network performance monitoring since several years, and we are the leader in this quadrant. So this is for us very important. Yeah, next slide, please. So if you have questions, please ask in the chat. We will give you an answer just in time. I think we should do it proactively. Yeah, how we see the market in the moment, and what you see is enterprise complexity is the new reality, and this is the truth. And it is very noisy. So the most of our customers see herself in such a picture. Yeah. So systems and applications are distributed across the data center, and the most important thing in this strange times is that the remote side, for example. They also see the cloud, and they also see the expanding of the IoT devices like security cameras, phone, and printers. Yeah? The remote is one of the key points in the moment, and Jürgen will show you how we can handle this and how we can work with this. What we also see, the teams and the tool sets are siloed. They have the same basics, but they have a few from different perspectives, and this is what we have seen also in the past. That you have a security team that have a look on the employee dates, and you have the network performance team. They have a different view on these tools. But what we also see is there are so many tools in place, and this makes the life very hard for every guy who do the administration for this. They have to be trained on this tool and this tool and this tool, and they have to have a look on this tool. And this is what we call the tools sprawl. Too much tools for too less people. And this is, I think, the biggest issue also in the market, that you don't have enough people in place. Is it for security or is it for the network part?
Exactly.
Good. Yeah, something to add from your side, Jürgen?
Yeah, there's really cost complexity in this. So it means a lot of customer they see the barrier to maybe adapt to cloud because of the security. And we have a lot of a long mean time to detection. It's more than three months. There are a lot of challenges. Also the staff. Yeah, you do not have the right people in place for IT, and all these are cost and complex challenges to go forward. And our solution will help, because we make it easy, and we make it good to see and have a lot of visibility, and we help these challenges. Then if you go to Gartner, if you see Gartner, Gartner has built a cyber triad, and there's NDR, which means network detection and response. What we do, it's a main part of it. So Gartner says it's important to have maybe something like a SIM in your network, that you can collect all your logs, and logs are very noisy. You got a lot of them, and a lot of people use a SIM to correlate the logs and have a log source for the logs. That's very important. And the other side, the Gartner says you need endpoint detection and response. Means you need something to secure your endpoints. But it's not possible to install an EDR client on all devices. So it means a lot of devices are not able to run security on it. So it means to complete this cyber triad, you need something which is looking on the real data, which is looking on the wire. And that's an NDR solution. It means we are looking on the wire, and we are complete these, give you the real visibility, what happens in your network. We are going for real-time detection, show you if there's something security issue in your network, and we have the possibility to respond very fast if we see there's something wrong. Maybe block an IP address on the firewall, or block an MAC address on your Cisco either. However, there are a lot of possibilities which we can do on our NDR solution. So what we do, and you will find you and your customer thing on this picture, the most of the customer really have direction north, south firewall. Hopefully a next generation firewall means they really check what's coming in, what's going out. They have an IPS and IDS mostly in place to see detections on signature base. Sometimes, or some customer running really advanced persistent threat solution like sandboxing, however, but that only covers the traffic which is going out of the network from the customer. So it's not the dark space which is in your network, and that's just our basic work. We are really focused on east-west traffic. Means we are looking on the traffic inside your VLAN. Also, if you have firewall segmentation, you do not see everything what's going on in your network. So it means we really cover the network between your database, your application server, your users, your cron jewels which a customer has inside, the storage, all the things they like to make secure. is where we are looking. Yeah, if you're going with logs, you only can cover around about 20 or 25% of your traffic, and direction internet, there's also only a small amount of traffic. So we are looking inside. We discover all your traffic, if you like. Also, which is important at the moment, remote users. You know, because of Corona, there's an issue with work from at home. Yeah, it's very important to digitalize. You have the possibility to log into your company and work from home as you can work in your company, and that's the big challenge for some companies. And it's also important because we saw in Europe also that a lot of companies are going into the cloud very fast because of the Corona, that they can have a lot of important applications they can use in the cloud and make it easier to access. So the main point and the important point is really covering this, that you are seeing what's in your internal network and where are the bad guys maybe and what happens. And how do we do that? And one important point is that our solution is a passive solution. So we are passive in the network. We cannot block something or disturb a connection. However, we only need a copy of the customer's traffic. That means we are sitting inside maybe, and you give me a tap or a mirror port, a span port from the internal traffic. The traffic, mostly the best is the traffic direction to the data center, or we sit very close at the data center. So give me the copy of the traffic from inside, give me the copy of the traffic from the remote users or from the cloud. And then we are running a real-time reassembly machine in there. So it means the packets coming in, we are reassembling the packets very fast. We can do up to 100 gigabit. And then we analyze these traffic, and we pointing out and show you all the protocols which are in. So we can go for up to 60 protocols in-house, when we can show you more than 5,000 metrics out of these protocols. And the second very important thing, if you think about or compare us against our competition, that we have the possibility to decrypt the traffic. So we can also decrypt TLS 1.3 and have a look inside, that you can see if you have any issue or security issues in the traffic. That's very important. So with a copy of the traffic, we can do a lot and give you a very deep visibility up to layer 7 of your traffic. We also have a possibility for cloud. We are working with Google, with Azure, with AWS, and we have also a SaaS solution for AWS. Means you can copy your VPCs from your AWS cloud into our SaaS application, and directly you can access and see what happens in your cloud environment. Well, this is more I will show you on the console. I will show you in the following demo. Just for give you a picture, though we are really do not focus on logs, we are really looking at the wire data. That means we get out a lot of information of the data, which is going around the wire. That means the header, the payload, all the different things, and we pick out the information and we make it for you easy readable. So I'm really not the deep dive payload analyst. That's why I like our solution. It automatically shows you thousands of metrics, so it makes easier for you to work with this solution. And if you compare our solution to other solutions, they do a little bit the same like we do. The most of the other companies, they need to write the data, the packet captures to the disk first, and write it to the disk. The first thing is disk speed, because you are limited, I think, about 25 gigs per appliance. So it means you need a lot of disk speed, and they're really slow if you afterwards search for data or correlate data. You need a lot of CPU. You need a lot of this. You need a lot of CPU. Well, really slow. On the other side, we are with our stream processing. We are analyzing first. It means we did it in RAM. and the CPU, the packets coming in, we be getting out or pulling out the metrics of these data and the payload information, and then we put the packet into the trash and write the metrics down. So we do not need a lot of disk space, and we are really fast to write what we see in the network. And as you will see now in the 5 minutes on the demo, we give you a lot of important information, easy readable information, more like in Wireshark. If we talk about security, one thing, or it's not only for security, it's also for performance. If we talk about these both things, what's important is machine learning. Or machine learning, it's one of the keywords everyone is using. We do our machine learning in the cloud. So some competitors, they will do this on the box, but because we have so many protocols we support, we are able to see up to layer 7 on the transaction. We have a lot of metrics. It means if you have 10,000 assets, you have 1 million transaction to calculate. So it means it's not able for us to do it on the box. We have to do it on the cloud. We send our metrics into the cloud. These metrics are anonymized, so it means no information from customer leaving the house. So we also, if we are hacked or our cloud is hacked, there are data which are not helpful for someone. You see nothing. Only if the data or the analyzed data comes back to the box, it was de-anonymized, and then you can see what happens and what happens on machine learning solution. So it's very, very secure. Then if you see, our solution helps both teams. We have mostly two teams in big companies: security operation team and the IT operation team, and they are different, but they are looking at the same. They're looking at the solutions. They're looking at the web server and the database server, the applications, at the user, all the same. And what's important for all is the wide data. But they have different questions. For example, if the IT teams look at the web server, they are interested on which server are responding slowly. Is my application healthy? What about the performance? And if you see that from the other side, the security team is looking, is encryption, it's good. The encryption is there traffic which is malicious? Do I use cipher suites which are up to date and not crackable? All the information what the security guys do, and they can use our solution to get for both sides or for both teams and answer. That's very nice. That means SOC and NOC, they have a very good value on our solution. So it means operational value, more visibility, detection, investigation, which will I show you in the demo, security hygiene, network hygiene. It means you do not need so many tools. You can help to have not so much talents in your all the things what you on business value which you can save. One thing it's also important. It's IoT. Though IoT is one keyword too, which is important in terms of security, in terms of visibility. You need to know or like to know what's going on in your network. So click on the light, give you a light into the shadow and show you who is connected in your network. That's important to know. It's iPhone, it's a webcam, it's a laptop, it's a server. It's also important to know which kind of software is running on it, and also to help you to have better detection on it. Can show that you can see if there is anomalous traffic or anomalous behavior for these devices, and that you can respond on things you see or on detections you see that you maybe block an IP address or block an MAC address, however, to stop the attack or stop the traffic. And if you give if I can give you an example, so maybe if you have VoIP phones in your network, and you see there's a Cisco VoIP phone, we detect it, we know what kind of phone it is, and you can compare it to other devices in your network. And now you see, for example, it's a VoIP phone. I know it's a VoIP, but now I see traffic which is not really typical for this phone. Maybe this phone is hacked. You see maybe SSH talking from this phone, but the other protocols or the other phones do not act like this one. So that's a point where our machine learning comes in, and he checks the group of the phones and checks the behavior of the phones. That's the baselining. We learn what's normal in your network, and then we compare if there's something not normal, and that's it's showing here. We expect this value of traffic SSH 0 time. So we didn't saw it before, and now we saw 24,400 sessions with SSH from this machine. We say, that's not normal. What's going on? Is someone configuring there? Is an upload, however, or is this device is compromised? So machine learning gives you a lot of information. And our solution gives you more information also as only the anomaly traffic. It gives you the scaler also information about to whom is this phone talking, where coming this SSH traffic from, or suggest the next steps. What should I do to terminate this connection, or to help to fix this problem? So maybe the investigation steps, a few the IPs to which the guys the phone is talking to. That way I will show you in the demo too. But it's important to have the possibility to see the devices, and also to see which protocols the devices use, to see if something going right or is something not normal in your network. To the end, some hints about the third-party devices. It's very important to know that we are open. We have a bidirectional API running. This means it's very easy to connect us to other solutions. We are working very well with Splunk, for example. We can use also the Elasticsearch database from Splunk. It's very easy to connect ExtraHop to Splunk. We have a possibility to connect, for example, to Palo Alto to block automatically IP addresses or detection which coming up, or some other tools like Phantom or the Misto ticketing tool, ServiceNow. So we can easily connect other tools, and that's important to know that if you add ExtraHop into your environment, that the customer can run it and can use the information from our tool to fit into other tools and rich up the data for other tools, or grab out some data for our solution. So there was a nice view from IDC about the values, and they hold us it's very easy. If you use an ExtraHop solution like our solution, you gain in the visibility, and the time to improvement rises up. The time to resolve rises up very hard, and also you can reduce the staff to resolve problems, because you have one single overview and one single solution to help maybe the security team and to a network team. So it's a good solution for both. Make it easier to get budget to buy a solution like our solution. So that's enough. What to talk about in slides. No, let us see how the reality looks like. Hopefully the size it's okay of my picture.
Yes, we can see it. It's okay.
It's okay. Okay. Now I show the reality. Though we have a demo site on ExtraHop, it's easy for you too to use this. That's free to use. I will switch to here. If you go to our ExtraHop website, you see in the right corner start a demo, and if you push here the button, you need to log in your once, and you receive an URL and then you can use daily the demo we use, or I show you, to play around, make yourself a little bit familiar about the solution, and see our benefits. So, but think about if you use our solution or demo in the internet, that you click here on 6 hours, because every 6 hours the sample data comes in. So it's a good time frame to use to show you all the detections and all the application which I like to show you. So that's the overview. That's our solution, the ExtraHop's EDA solution. And we have 3 overview pages: security, network, and perimeter. And now here we start on the security overview. That means what we show you here in this chart is a little bit the kill chain, means how the attackers coming in. There's maybe how many command and control sessions are there. Are there some detections for reconnaissance? Someone pinging around inside your network, or make a TCP SYN to see if there are open ports, a TCP scan. If there's something like an exploit running to infiltrate another machine, or are there actions? Maybe someone is doing data exfiltration and sending out a big amount of data. So you see it on the pie chart here, all the different categories of security. We have this also, of course, for detections by role. Means that we automatically discover or see the role of the devices in your network. So as we see that's a file server. We see how many gateways are in there, how many DNS servers are in your network, and we have the detections by role, by web servers, however, that you can see how it is. We have, of course, the one important thing, the highest score. Maybe you can jump in here and drill down into the highest score detections, and you have the detections by title. So it gives you a good overview of all the detections in the last 6 hours. We have said what happens and how many detections came in. So the second overview, and that's really this one I really like. It's a network. So, and if you put on the network, you first will see how many active devices do you have in your network. So that's one very important thing customers or administrators like to know, if they see all the devices which are active in their network. The second point is the new devices. It's also very important to know if a new device comes up. So we count here the devices which are installed or connected to the network the last 24 hours. But we also have detection and triggers which show you if these devices which are connected to the network have a little bit have some applications running which are maybe security relevant, like a DHCP server. Is there a new DHCP server coming? Is there a new DNS server coming? So related to security, it's important to know if someone have built it in or configured a new device with DHCP or DNS, however. But the main part and the important one is the network health indicators. What means that? That means that we very quickly give you an answer what happens in your network. If you see some suspicious connections, for example, if we see some errors of your web servers, which slow down your connections or which make your network unstable. We show you what's going wrong, maybe with DNS. Do you have a lot of request timeouts, makes the connection establishment slow? Do we have some self-signs sessions there? Do we use some protocols for encryption which are known as non-unsecure? Yeah, maybe it's crackable. Do we see certificates which are already expired or will expire the next week? That means we show you a lot of indicators which makes your network health indicators, and if you can fix the most of these shown issues, you make your network more stable and, of course, more secure. So it helps you at all to make your application faster, more stable, and more secure. It's a good overview. The third overview is the perimeter. And as well, Helmut told you before, or me, that we are focused on the east-west traffic. Means we are looking on the internal traffic, which is in your VLANs, what's across over your VLANs, but we are not really interested what's going direction internet. That's the part of your next generation firewall should cover. However, some connections are interesting, and we can of course show you this traffic too, and we can show the protocols too for this traffic. But we are interested in two things. Which one is the first one is the exfiltration. Means we want to know is there big data transfer from inside to outside. Means she show you a big bubble, show you that this server, if I click on it, it's an internal server, sends out a lot or a big amount of traffic to this one. And if it's red, that means that there is a threat intelligence in there, and we or other security vendors shown this IP address as suspicious. So it means it's known as not really as a suspicious endpoint, and that means you should be care about and check what actually is that here from this internal device outside direction internet. So we showed you the exfiltration. You can check it very easily on this pie chart. And the other way, which is important, it's command and control. Is someone from outside coming inside and maybe tries to control one of your internal machines? Yeah, it's the same. So if you see this one as a red one, also we suspicious. If I click on the internal device, also get some overview information. It's a Dell hardware, is a web server, the first seen in December. And if you click down, you get more information. I will show you afterwards more information about this machine. So it's we have 3 pages which are good in overview. But important it's to see what's going on your network, and visibility is really the main part. You need to know to whom you have to fight. Yeah, you need to see it, and then you can fight against, and you can respond. But if you do not see what happens, you have no chance to react. So we show you the devices in your network, and if you click on it, you see all the devices which are in with the IP address, with the MAC address, and with the role. We are at the moment, I think we are discovered or detect more than 1,800 different devices, means very granular. Also, which kind of Amazon Kindle is it? Which kind of MacBook is it? Which building number? It's new one. It's an old one. However, and this will update it via internet more and more day by day. That we have more and more devices in to show. It's a interesting part. You can also create groups for all the devices you have in there. That's also interesting maybe for the work from home part. You can build your own group, work from home, type in maybe the IP address range for your remote users, or the name of the laptops from remote users. However, there are the possibility to build dynamic groups which are filled dynamically by name, by VLAN, by MAC address, by window name, by network, a lot of parameters you can use. And then you can use all these groups or these groups for showing you later on dashboards. I will show you at the end of the presentation. Maybe it's important to see how you can monitor your mobile devices and see the traffic which comes in from these devices. But the heart of the machine are more the protocols. That means if you connect this machine to your network and you get a data feed, means a copy of the internal data, and you plug the cable into the box and you go for a cup of coffee, 10 or 5 minutes, and you come back and you will see a site like this. So it means automatically we know what happens in your network, and that's it's not magic, but I really like it. You see all the protocols which are in your network, and you get information. How many servers do I see for this? How many clients do I see for this? Do I have connection for that? Give me the activity. show me DNS, show me the map for DNS, and you can make it also graphical if you like to see. Oh, we have some remote office. They have one DNS server here acting, one DNS server here acting. There's one here acting. You can, if there's a circle around and you click, you will see there are some detections for this server. You can click or drill down from this view. It gives you the possibility more graphical to see what's going on. Sometimes it's helpful. It's a little bit more interesting, like a list or schedule, but it's good to know that you can click on it. And all the protocols. Yeah.
I'm sorry for interruption.
Yeah, of course.
Can you have a look on the chat? There are some questions inside.
I do not see the chat. Give me or give me some information. We do it at the end, however, or
so whatever
read it for
we
me.
want. So one question was, can you track transaction flow across multiple microservices?
Yeah, if you mean that you have different protocols and you want to see what happens for this protocol, if you mean that, we can do, yeah.
Otherwise, I think all we answer the questions up in the end, and then we will unmute everyone.
Yeah, that's the good idea. Yeah, that we do it on the end. We unmute everyone. That we have to make sure that I explain the questions right. That's easier. Maybe it could be that the answer comes while the demonstration, and then we do it at the end if it's fine for you. Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
Good. Great. Thank you, Helmut. Though, if you see all the protocols here, you can easily jump into one of these protocols. For example, we have database servers. We jump on the database servers. And what we see here, we have 6 database servers. We saw, for example, these servers are active. We have more than a database running as a server. They also server for AAA, file sharing, and SSH. They also are client for these protocols. And you directly see the transactions of these servers. If there are some errors for the database traffic, how is the response? And if you're interested in the errors, for example, and that's also nice, we also try to give you 1 or 2 mouse clicks away an answer. So we make it as easy as possible. Though you're interested in what's going on here, what the error, click on it, drill down to the errors, go to the errors and see what's going on. Okay, a lot of errors with too many connections. The EcoMap FAQ database does not exist. You directly get answers on your questions, and you can drill down to different informations too. So it makes it easy to troubleshoot an issue. We have also in the overview information about the devices, who is talking to the databases. Or if you're interested in the network parameters, you can click on the network and then see what about the throughput of these servers inside, the throughput outside. What about the fragmentation? Is there fragmentation? Which kind of packets do we see? It's unicast packets. Important, as I had 1 week ago, we troubleshoot VoIP traffic. Is there the right DSCP value set for the VoIP traffic? For example, it checks the quality of service parameter. See how big are the frame size in your network. All the informations you get out of the packets we show here very easily, and it's also easy to drill down. If you click on it, go to the records, I will show you later, to the members, or create a dashboard, a chart, because you're interested in VLANs. So it's easy to show. And if you swap over to TCP, then you will see what happens with the protocol reassembly engine. It means it shows you in the protocol that the metrics, how many aborted connections do we have, how many resets on this transaction, how many SYNs do we saw, all the things about TCP, all the metrics we have, we show you easy, and you will understand very quickly if your protocol is healthy and what's going on. What about the device groups? What about the round trip times? What about the average time? All the things which can go wrong related to the protocols you will see here. And if you go back to the protocol I showed before, the database, maybe you have also, I'm not the database specialist, but you have also the methods for the database. You can see how many selects did we do, how many sets are there in, how many shows and logins we saw, which group members are using the database. So click on it, drill down for the database, and you see the database. And if you click on the magnifying glass, you can go deeper. And now you're on the records. That's a second application for our solution. Though these are records which have all the flows and transaction in there, is stored on the EXA, means Explore appliance. And the other thing we saw before are stored on the EDA, this ExtraHop Discovery appliance. So that's a second appliance which needs to connect to the EDA via network speed, 1 gig, 10 gig, however, it's easy. And then you see all the flows. You see all the flows, you see the database traffic, you see maybe the processing time, how big are the bytes. And if you are interested in, you can click down and drill down a little bit deeper, and you get really the packets, so real raw packets of this flow. Then you can download it, and you can use it in the Wireshark to get maybe information out which are helpful for you. This one, which I show here, the packets are the appliance. So if you like to have the packets, the raw packets every time stored, maybe one day back, however, you need to install the ETA, it means the ExtraHop trace appliance, which are connected also to the data feed, and get a second copy of the data feed to store the raw packets. So I guess that's all that what I showed you. It's a little bit more out of the performance solution.
Jorgen, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
I would like to emphasize a couple of points.
Okay.
Main benefits of ExtraPoint is the ability to analyze and to work upon 100 gig of traffic, which is not a capability that other vendors got. Also, the encryption issue, that all encrypted SSL, TLS encryptions are decrypted while analyzing and discovering classification is done for all the users, speakers, device, and such. Please, few words about it.
Yeah, that's an important thing. The speed is one of the important things that we can really go up to 100 gig, and that's because of the stream assembly engine that we discover the packets if they come in and take out the metrics we show and then store these metrics. So we do not store the whole packets, except you use this one, the packet machine. Then you have to write it to the disk, and that's an expensive solution. Though if the customer like to have really the packets, you need to install for 100 gig. 4 of these appliances, because we also limited to 25 gigs per appliance to write down all the raw data to the packets. That's an issue of physical issue which everyone have. But however, the second important thing, what Jonathan mentioned, is the encryption. So a lot of traffic inside to your servers is encrypted, and if you have encrypted traffic, you are blind. You see nothing. Some other vendors, they guess they can see because of the size of the packet, or maybe of the delay time. They guess that's a protocol ABC, that's an packet ABC, but they do not really know it. So if you really like to know what's in, and then you have to decrypt the packets. And we can decrypt the packets very easy. There are 2 possibilities: add the certificate and the private certificate in our box. And if you got the copy of the data, we afterwards decrypt the traffic and show you and give you the visibility. Or if it's TLS version 1.3, there's the problem that every session is encrypted and has an own key for the session, an own key. Though we need to install an agent on the server, a PFS, packet forwarding secret, and this server software sends us for the session the key, and then we can decrypt also TLS version 1.3 sessions to to make it easier viewable. And then you saw this traffic as maybe HTTP traffic because it's decrypted, and then you can have a look up to layer 7 and see everything. And you see also, however, detections like SQL injection, what you cannot see if you're not able to look into the traffic. So there are two possibilities: that we can decrypt your traffic, or maybe the customer have a load balancer in front, F5, however, and they send us a monitoring port. But decryption is really an issue. Makes it much more secure if you have the possibility to jump into the encrypted traffic and see it in through. Huh? I jumped to the detection. So now I will talk a lot about the performance. If you, for example, now check the security part, I click into the detections, and I see there are HTTP detections, 2 detections I have seen. And what we get here is a nice view, an overview, and card about the detection, which shows us which kind of detection do we have. On web directory scan detection, there's a description, what does this do, what happens. Somebody from outside this IP is scanning this server inside. And if you go a mouse over, you see there's a server coming from Russia. This server is a Drupal server inside. It's an Apache web server running on Windows. Windows is running on it. And you had on the right side also some more information about this detection, and also references in the internet maybe, and mitigation options, means how can you stop this traffic. So we give you some important information. So this one is also scan this Drupal server. And now what's important, we have investigation step which help you to find an answer. So you see there's someone is scanning your server from outside. What is your question? My question is, oh my God, which URLs are scanned? And then you can go to the investigation step we have here, and you click a button, show me the scanned URLs. And you click on it, and you directly see which URLs are scanned from outside. You really quickly have an answer what happens. Which status code is used from the protocol? You have an answer. Which server is it? The internal Drupal server. Which host did it? Show me the hosts. Yeah, though very quickly you get an information via our investigation steps, what happens, and we help you to find an answer. Also, this connection, it's learned by our machine learning. The expected value, we didn't saw it before, 0 times. So now we saw it 4,500 times. That's someone from outside. And this one is also a suspicious IP. That means a camera icon here. It's scanning this server. And if you go to the second vulnerability, we can go to the second one. After that one, we saw a Drupal vulnerability. The Drupal vulnerability means there's in Drupal an exploit running on the 7x or 8x server, Drupal server, also coming from this IP. Means this IP going again to the Drupal server, sounding not good. Click on it and you get more information. So if you click on this one, on the exploitation, you get a timeline for the related detections. That means that you have now the Drupal exploit we saw before, the web directory scan. And if you check the offender and the victims, you see after doing the exploit, running the exploit, this offender and this victim change the role. This means the victim now, it's compromised and it's in your internal network, the offender. So after the Drupal exploit is installed, the victims becomes the offender. And if you check the timeline, 10 minutes later, this device starts to pinging around and scan who is alive in your network. And after that, he's doing DNS brute force in your internal network. And after that, he makes reverse lookup. And after that, he does a SYN scan. And also, if you are interested what happens, click on it, ping scan, who the hell is this machine is pinging? Click on the investigation step, you get the answer. These machines are pinged from this machine. Go back and you're interested on the TCP SYN scan. Go to the TCP SYN scan. Oh my God, he scanned around the internal network. Which devices are scanned? click around, you see the machines which are scanned with TCP. So you get all the informations on the timeline until the end. And I think I need to refresh after 6 hours on the timeline. But sometimes, give me it. We didn't saw the end of this attack because normally it's ended on crypto mining. There's the crypto mining detections means at the end, after these all attacks, this machine is starting to crypto mine. Yeah, that could also be that after this attack, the machine exfiltrate data, or that someone starts to decrypt your data and wants money for you to encrypt your data and want money for you to decrypt again. So that's the whole story, that you really see the related detection, what's happened in your network, and you get for everything the information, and you always it's always possible to jump a little bit deeper and look into to find out what's going on, and it's in normal detection, or it's maybe something what comes from a bad guy outside. So it gives you the quick overview, or a good overview what happens. Yeah, if you see this one is a Stratum server, drill down, show me the IP, and you click on it, you see where it comes from. This comes over the Cisco machine in your network. Give me the IP protocol for that. You see the protocols, you see the DHCP value. You can mark different times, so it's easy also. If you go back to the detection, to the Drupal exploit, if you click on the machine, for example, and you see one machine, show me what's the infected machine. How is it act in your network? This machine is a web server. There's this user connected to. It's in these groups. And we saw the traffic for this machine. This machine runs a lot of SQL database traffic and a lot of HTTP and TCP traffic. You can click on it, drill down, give me more information about this protocol. You see which peers are this server are connecting to, how many bytes are sent to this server. You have a good overview of how this machine act in your network, and that helps you, of course, also in the situation like work from home, that you can make a group a server, and monitor this server. If these servers or these clients are remote clients, how can they connect to your servers inside? Are there more? Are there some issues with time related? In answering, is a slow answering? Is an application not good running? Do you have a lot of errors for this application? Do I see security issues? And then you can build your dashboards. Let me check if I have on this dashboard on my machine to show you an example. Remote is here. This one, we built the dashboard for example, remote workers. Choose your group which you like interested in, and you get information out. It's just a dashboard. This one is created by ourselves. You can download it very easily, install it, and then you have it. You get answer on the remote users, the average time of bytes which are sent out, the URLs which are connected to, the application which are connected to. And then you can drill down and see maybe the round trip time, if the answer is slow, what is the average time, do you have an issue with connecting time, do you have an issue with errors. However, that gives you a good overview how the workers from home are working, and if everything is fine or not. So this view shows you everything, though shows you security related thing and shows you the network relations things. So security IT teams and operating teams are interested on views like this. That's the overview. I think the time is like over, and we should go to the question and answers, I think. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Jürgen. So now we'll go to the questions and answers. So gentlemen, if you have questions, this is the time in the chat to raise the questions now.
Yeah, maybe you can unmute the users.
Okay.
Sometimes it's easier to explain it as write it down if they have question on the solution.
So you have a user, and then you can extend the access to the partner portal, traditional users. This is fun. It's very complicated because you have a lot of portals over there. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, from a license metrics point of view.
Okay, so we mute the noise. Is there any question from anybody from this forum? This is the time. Okay, I can see there is no question. First of all, I would like to thank Jürgen and Helmut, and with your permission, I will go for Hebrew to summarize just a minute. חברים, עד עכשיו אנחנו ראינו פה את המוצר, את היכולות שלו, והיכולות שלו הן עוד רבות ומגוונות. הנושא הזה של הידע שקיים למעשה מהתעבורה של הפקטו, היכולת לבוא ולעשות אקסטרקט לכל המידע שאנחנו רוצים, וממנו להוציא באמצעות Machine Learning, זה החוזק של האפליקציה הזאת. היכולת שהידע שקיים בכל החתכים, אם זה סיסטם, אם זה פרפורמנס, אם זה נטוורקינג, להעלות אותו על דשבורדים, על מפות, על קשרים, בין יחידות. אתם לא ראיתם פה את הנושא הזה של מפות, שנותן את היחסים בין משתמשים להתקנים, בסופו של דבר נותן לכם תמונה על מה קורה אצלכם ברשת, וזו החוזקה העיקרית. אנחנו פה נסיים, אני אפסיק את ההקלטה עוד מעט, אנחנו נתפזר ואני אשלח לכם את ההקלטה. And now we go to English again, and can you hear us, Jürgen and Helmut?
Yes, of course.
On behalf of the people here, I would like to thank you, deeply thank you, and for the wonderful presentation. And I'm now going to send the record of this session for everybody that would like to. And that's all for now.
Thank you, Jonathan, and thank you, Multipoint, for giving us a chance to show our solution. And thank you for your time, guys, to spend your time. And I hope all of you and your families stay healthy in this bad time. So that's very important. More important, like ExtraHop, that you stay healthy. On the thank you for your time.
Moment, I can see that another question is here. Oh no, sorry. Thanks from Yaron. Okay, so now we can everybody go in peace. Everybody, please keep safe these days. Very important.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot for all the time.
Thank you
all together.
Nice day.
Have a nice day. Thank you together.
Thank
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.